Every single morning, millions of busy parents and working adults make the exact same choice in the grocery aisle. They grab a brightly colored box from the freezer section, pop two golden discs into a toaster, and hand them to their family under the comforting assumption that they are serving a nourishing breakfast. It is quick, cheap, and undeniably nostalgic. But behind those crisp grid patterns lies a multi-billion-dollar food engineering illusion that most consumers never discover until it is too late. According to clinical research published in major medical journals, ultra-processed morning convenience foods now account for over 50% of the average Western diet, triggering blood sugar spikes, cognitive fatigue, and chronic metabolic strain. When clinical nutritionists systematically analyzed the frozen breakfast aisle, they uncovered a disturbing reality. Many iconic frozen waffle brands contain higher concentrations of refined sugar, bioengineered oils, and synthetic preservatives than a slice of birthday cake. Yet, they are aggressively marketed as wholesome morning fuel. What you are actually eating is not traditional waffle batter, but a hyper-palatable cocktail of chemical emulsifiers and stripped starches engineered to bypass your brain's natural satiety signals. If you think grabbing a box with natural claims protects you, what the ingredient data reveals will change the way you shop forever. But that is only the beginning of the story. To understand why your morning routine might be quietly sabotaging your health, we have to pull back the curtain on 7 frozen waffle products you should immediately remove from your shopping list, along with 3 scientifically backed alternatives that are actually worth your money. The first brand on our blacklist represents one of the most egregious nutritional traps in modern grocery stores: Eggo Grab and Go Lide style buttery maple flavored waffles. Introduced with the promise of mess-free convenience that requires no toaster, this product relies on a heavy brioche dough loaded with pearl sugar and invert sugar syrup. While a traditional Belgian Lige waffle is an artisanal treat meant as an occasional indulgence, Eggo packaged this formula as a daily morning meal. The nutritional reality is alarming. A single waffle packs 13 grams of added sugar, representing over 26% of the recommended daily limit for an adult and nearly half the daily limit for a young child. Because it boasts less than 1 gram of fiber, that concentrated sugar dumps directly into your bloodstream within minutes. Independent testing by culinary research teams rated this product among the absolute worst in the freezer section, noting that without a toaster to crisp the exterior, the waffle remains a dense, gummy sponge saturated in refined palm oil. What happened next surprised researchers. Despite its abysmal nutritional profile, consumers kept buying it simply due to brand familiarity. You are not eating breakfast, you are consuming a packaged pastry masquerading as a staple. The real reason this is so dangerous goes beyond sugar, but stay with me because the next product on our list is eaten by millions of children every morning. For decades, Kellogg's Eggo chocolatey chip waffles have relied on childhood nostalgia to maintain their position in the freezer aisle. Millions assume 2 chocolate chip waffles are a harmless morning treat for kids. However, the ingredient panel reveals a masterclass in nutritional deprivation. A 2 waffle serving delivers 320 milligrams of sodium, 7 grams of fat, and 9 grams of sugar, while providing a pitiful 3 grams of protein and less than 1 gram of fiber. The word chocolatey itself is a regulatory giveaway. Under food labeling standards, the manufacturer cannot call them real chocolate chips because they are composed of hydrogenated palm kernel oil, cocoa processed with alkali, and synthetic emulsifiers like soy lecithin. The primary ingredient is enriched white flour, which is stripped of natural bran and germ, leaving behind fast-acting starch. When digested, this combination triggers a spike in blood glucose, followed by a sharp insulin surge, leaving children irritable and suffering from brain fog before mid-morning. Clinical studies confirm that children who consume high glycemic, low-fiber breakfast consume significantly more total calories throughout the rest of the day compared to those eating protein-rich meals. But that is only the beginning of what cheap ingredients are doing to your body. Walking down the freezer aisle at Safeway or Albertsons, shoppers often gravitate towards store brands to save money. Signature Select Belgian-style waffles seem like a premium option with deep pockets and a fluffy appearance. But beneath that attractive price point lies a hidden metabolic hazard. A single Belgian-style waffle from this line contains 410 milligrams of sodium. That is nearly 20% of your daily recommended sodium limit crammed into a single waffle before adding butter or syrup. Combined with 29 grams of highly refined carbohydrates and barely 1 gram of dietary fiber, this product represents the ultimate empty calorie trap. Food scientists utilize high sodium levels in frozen baked goods for a specific reason: to mask the stale taste of low-cost flour and prolong shelf life in cold storage. The result is a heavy, sodium-dense grain brick that causes fluid retention while failing to trigger your brain's fullness hormone, leptin. You end up eating twice as much food later in the morning because your body received zero genuine micronutrients. Stay with me, because the next budget brand contains an ingredient list that shocked even veteran nutritionists. As the flagship budget option for millions of families shopping at Walmart, Great Value homestyle waffles sell in massive quantities every day. The extremely low price tag creates the illusion of a smart, economical choice. The real reason this product is so cheap, however, is even more shocking when you analyze the manufacturing process. To maintain bottom dollar pricing, the manufacturer relies heavily on bioengineered food ingredients, heavily processed soybean and palm oils, and a complex cocktail of synthetic leavening agents, including sodium acid pyrophosphate. Consumers who tested these waffles consistently noted an off-putting, chemically artificial flavor profile and a texture that turns chalky on the inside while remaining soft on the outside. Nutritionists point out that the refined oils used in budget formulas undergo high-heat industrial processing, creating oxidized lipid compounds linked to systemic inflammation when consumed repeatedly over time. By prioritizing low cost over raw material quality, you are saving a few cents at the cash register while paying a steep price in long-term metabolic health. Stay with me, because the biggest revelation about what food manufacturers are hiding in your freezer is still ahead. Before we reveal the remaining worst offenders, we have to answer an urgent question. Why are these products allowed to dominate grocery store shelves? The frozen food industry operates on a simple financial formula: maximize shelf life, minimize ingredient costs, and engineer hyperpalatability. By stripping natural fibers and substituting whole grains with cheap enriched white flour, companies ensure that their waffles can sit in a commercial freezer for over 12 months without degrading. But to restore the flavor lost during processing, they inject artificial flavorings, synthetic dyes, and industrial fats that trick your palate into wanting more. Clinical trials confirm that foods combining high glycemic carbohydrates with refined industrial fats suppress your brain's natural satiety cues, forcing you to overeat. The industry knows this mechanism intimately, and they design their recipes around it. What happened next in our investigation exposed how even thick, premium-looking waffles are engineered using these exact same tricks. Returning to our blacklist, we encounter another deceptively marketed product in the grocery aisle: Eggo-thick and fluffy cinnamon brown sugar waffles. Marketed as an indulgent, restaurant-style Belgian experience, these oversized waffles are an absolute nightmare for metabolic health. A standard serving packs over 10 grams of sugar, high levels of saturated fat, and artificial caramel coloring used to simulate the natural hue of baked cinnamon and brown sugar. The increased thickness of these waffles is not achieved through wholesome ingredients like whole eggs or milk, but through added starches, cellulose gum, and modified cornstarch. When toasted, the high surface heat caramelizes the sugars, creating an appealing crust that hides an interior composed of refined wheat flour and palm oil. A single waffle delivers a glycemic impact equivalent to eating multiple frosted donuts, causing an immediate glucose surge that forces your pancreas to pump out massive amounts of insulin. The result is a mid-morning energy crash, severe brain fog, and an intense craving for more simple carbohydrates before lunch. But that is only the beginning of the problem. Target's house brand, Market Pantry Homestyle Waffles, presents another classic case of corporate cost-cutting disguised as family value. At first glance, the simple packaging and low price suggest a harmless breakfast staple. However, independent dietary analyses reveal that these waffles are constructed using low-tier industrial ingredients available in the commercial food supply chain. The formula relies almost entirely on bioengineered wheat and soy ingredients, fortified with synthetic vitamins to replace natural nutrients destroyed during high-heat factory processing. With virtually zero fiber and high sodium density, these waffles offer almost no sustained biological fuel. Nutrition experts emphasize that when wheat flour is stripped of its outer bran layer, your body digests it almost identically to pure table sugar. The chemical emulsifiers added to preserve texture, such as mono and diglycerides. have been highlighted in recent gastroenterology studies for their potential negative impacts on gut microbiome diversity and intestinal lining health. Choosing this box means sacrificing digestion quality for minimal monetary savings. The final entry on our list of brands to avoid is perhaps the most extreme example of ultra-processed food engineering, Kellogg's Eggo French toasters and stuffed waffles line. Designed to capture the fast-paced, breakfast-on-the-go demographic, these products abandon even the pretense of traditional waffle baking. Packed with high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, and synthetic preservatives, a single portion contains up to 12 grams of sugar and 0 fiber. What makes these items particularly dangerous is their extreme caloric density and hyperpalatability. They are engineered to be consumed rapidly without chewing, bypassing the cephalic phase of digestion where your mouth signals your stomach that food is arriving. As a result, consumers swallow hundreds of empty, highly processed calories in under 2 minutes without feeling remotely satisfied. It is a formula designed strictly for corporate profit at the direct expense of consumer health. The real reason this matters is that long-term consumption of these options conditions your palate to reject natural, unrefined whole foods. Now that you know which popular products are quietly wrecking your morning health, the question becomes, what should you actually put in your shopping cart? What happened next in the food industry surprised legacy manufacturers. A growing movement of conscious food brands began completely redefining the frozen breakfast aisle by returning to real, nutrient-dense ingredients. Here are 3 frozen waffle brands that are genuinely worth your hard-earned money. Leading our list of top-tier recommendations is Kodiak Cakes Buttermilk and Vanilla Power Waffles. Unlike traditional frozen waffles that rely on refined flour and empty starches, Kodiak constructs their waffles using 100% whole grain wheat flour, whole grain oat flour, and high-quality whey and egg proteins. A single 2 waffle serving delivers an impressive 12 grams of complete protein and 4 grams of dietary fiber, creating a perfectly balanced macronutrient profile. The inclusion of complex whole grains means the carbohydrates digest slowly, releasing a steady stream of glucose into your bloodstream rather than causing an aggressive spike. Clinical studies show that combining fiber with protein significantly increases satiety hormones like peptide Y while suppressing ghrelin, the hunger hormone. Furthermore, Kodiak uses real buttermilk, natural vanilla, and non-GMO ingredients, proving that convenience does not have to come at the cost of your health or taste buds. Stay with me, because our next recommendation takes organic quality to an even higher level. If you are searching for a clean, traditional waffle that tastes as close to homemade as possible, Annie's Organic Homestyle Waffles are an exceptional choice. Certified USDA Organic, Annie's completely eliminates synthetic pesticides, artificial preservatives, bioengineered ingredients, and chemical dyes from their supply chain. Their recipe uses organic whole wheat flour and unbleached wheat flour, providing a delicate, fluffy texture without relying on industrial emulsifiers or dough conditioners. With only 2 grams of added sugar per serving and 0 artificial flavorings, these waffles offer a subtle, clean taste profile that pairs beautifully with fresh fruit or real maple syrup. Nutritionists frequently recommend Annie's for families with young children, as avoiding synthetic additives and artificial preservatives has been shown in clinical trials to reduce behavioral irritability and improve digestive comfort in sensitive individuals. It is a rare example of a corporate food product executed with genuine integrity and clean ingredient sourcing. Taking the absolute top spot for nutritional density and metabolic support is Food for Life Ezekiel 4-9 sprouted grain waffles. Based on an ancient grain combination, these waffles are made from sprouted organic whole wheat, sprouted barley, sprouted millet, sprouted lentils, sprouted soybeans, and sprouted spelt. The sprouting process is a biological game changer. When grains are sprouted, naturally occurring enzymes break down anti-nutrients like phytic acid, dramatically increasing the bioavailability of essential minerals like iron, zinc, and magnesium. This process also reduces simple starches, lowers the glycemic index to an absolute minimum, and increases naturally occurring fiber and protein. With 0 added sugar, 0 refined flour, and 0 industrial seed oils, Ezekiel waffles deliver a complete protein containing all 9 essential amino acids. They digest effortlessly, keep your blood sugar perfectly stable throughout the morning, and provide clean, long-lasting energy. It is hands down the single healthiest frozen waffle available in mainstream grocery stores today. The ultimate takeaway is simple. Convenience should never force you to compromise your metabolic health. By learning to read ingredient panels rather than trusting flashy front-of-box marketing, you can easily filter out chemical-laden, sugar-filled traps and choose products that genuinely nourish your body. The next time you walk down the freezer aisle, skip the refined flour, bioengineered oils, and artificial preservatives, and reach for options rich in whole grains, fiber, and clean protein. Your energy levels, gut health, and long-term wellness will thank you every single morning. If you found this investigation valuable, hit the like button to help this video reach more people trying to make healthier choices. Drop a comment below letting us know which frozen waffle brain currently sits in your freezer. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive into the truth behind the food on your plate.